Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, my name is Bhavin, and today I'll be talking about how you can choose the best major and college program for yourself. And this is a video I think would have been very useful for me when I was making that decision about 4 years ago. Because choosing the right major can have a huge impact on your future, your prospects for work, and personal fulfillment. So if that sounds like it'll be interesting for you, I'm sure you'll enjoy this video. The first thing you need to consider when choosing your major is a self-assessment, basically. So I want you to reflect on what your interests are, what your passions are, what your strengths are. That whole idea of follow your passion typically is not the best advice because most people will not be passionate about school or working or something like that. However, you should follow your interests and try to create something for yourself that you genuinely enjoy. So think about the things that you like to do in your free time. And like what subjects and stuff like that you're doing well in and enjoy studying. Definitely kind of put that as like the cornerstone and what you're going to use to kind of go forward. Next thing you're going to want to do is research your options. So take a look at what you're good at and what you enjoy doing, and think about what you can do as a career or as like a job based on that. And if you're somebody who doesn't exactly know what they like to do or what their interests are, I encourage you to try as many new things as you possibly can, especially while you're in high school. You have access to all the different types of classes. You can take a computer science class, an econ class, you can take whatever interests you and see like what it is that you're enjoying. Or think about what you're doing outside of school and how you can build a career around that. Are you interested in video games? Are you interested in like cooking? Are you interested in building things? Think about all that sort of stuff. So next up, take a look at the curriculum, the course requirements, and potential career paths for each major that you're kind of thinking about. And when you're doing this, I encourage you to think about the job first, whatever it is that you're ultimately working towards, and then work backwards into what it is that would require you to do. So then, once you kind of have some of those potential careers that you're interested in, what you can do is, because of technology, is go to TikTok or go to YouTube and think about, okay, watch day in the life videos of people working in that profession. Have DM them or message them to see if they're interested in having a coffee chat or just interested in answering your questions. If you message like 10 people or so, it's very likely that one of them will say yes. And next up, you're going to want to evaluate your strengths and your weaknesses. So think about the areas that you are naturally strong at and how you can leverage those skills. Because the truth is, people like to do things that they're kind of naturally good at and talented at, and things that like are valuable in the marketplace. And be sure to balance like passion versus practicality. So you can balance your passions with practical considerations like the job prospects, earning potential, and seek majors that kind of align with your interests and the real world opportunities. One thing I highly recommend doing is always going to LinkedIn or Indeed or Glassdoor or whatever, or job sites for like the government or whatever, and seeing if what you're trying to do is actually in demand, because there are definitely majors and fields that are more valuable than the others. Generally speaking, from what I've seen from my classmates and the people I know and I've met at UBC, doing things in STEM, so doing like engineering or science degrees, or like math and stuff like that, or like mostly computer science, as well as business, as well as things in business like accounting, finance, econ, and all those sorts of things have led to people getting pretty good jobs right out of school, as well as the trades. I have friends who are just about completing their certification to become like a welder or electrician and stuff like that. Very great careers And yeah, definitely look into the job prospects. And also think about like the cost of education and the potential student loans that you would accumulate, and if you would be able to kind of pay it back, or how you can minimize it by, living frugally or living at home, or using scholarships or government grants and all that sorts of stuff. Another thing I would advise is also seeking advice from mentors. So, talking to teachers, family members, industry professionals for insight, all that sort of stuff. And as far as, like, let's say life science degrees, I have one. I did biology and I'm working towards a master's degree um, soon. So, as far as what I've seen with people in the life sciences, all the degrees are basically treated very similar. Like if you're doing bio, if you're doing microbio, all that sort of stuff. What the biggest thing will be is that if you're able to do well enough to get to probably the medical school or the dental school or whatever that you're likely working towards, as far as actual work with just the bachelor's degree in life sciences, from what I've seen, it's mostly lab work, like research assistant. I have one of those, like also working in biotech companies or sales and stuff like that. And most people in life sciences end up trying to do something after, whether it's like a teaching degree, whether it's, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, medicine, dentistry, optometry, that sort of stuff, as well as thinking about like nursing or something like that is pretty common from the cohort I was with. And yeah, overall, definitely look into every possible option before you choose, and then think about what would be best. And also think about cases where, let's say you're unable to get into professional school, what would you want to do then? Kind of think about those options. But remember to, the key with any degree and education is getting co-op, work learns, practical experience. So you can just use that as like a stepping stone to then get your foot in the door to some company and learn a lot of stuff along the way. So that's honestly my advice for choosing your degree. I think if you're watching this major, you're probably concerned about school and stuff like that, so you're probably going to be okay. But yeah, found that helpful. Please leave a like, comment, and share to somebody else who would think this was helpful.